Hi, boys and girls. We're gonna do science now. This is our last lesson for today, Wednesday. Last week, well, actually not last week, on Monday, last Monday, or the Monday from this week, we talk about force, and we talk about speed and the way things move, and we also talk about gravity. Well, boys and girls, this is the person responsible for discovering gravity, right? It sounds like something very easy and something that we can understand, right? Everything falls and everything falls to the floor because of gravity. He was the one who actually came out with the idea of gravity, and probably with the name of gravity as well. His name is Isaac Newton. This is not his long hair, this is a wig. Back on his time, men had the custom of wearing wigs as well. So, boys and girls, we are going to begin by reading some facts about Isaac Newton. And here we go. We're gonna go with number 1. It says he's known for observing an apple falling from a tree. That's why we can see that everything is shaped like an apple. You see? So observing, boys and girls, means to look at. He was the one who saw an apple falling from a tree. Do you remember the story of Little Rabbit and the sky was falling? That he thought the sky was falling because an apple hit him on the head, but it wasn't actually the sky falling, it was just the apple. Well, probably something like that happened to Isaac Newton, and that's how he came out with the idea of gravity. Everything is pulled towards the earth, including us. That's why we can walk on earth. So our number 2, he wrote his 3 laws of motion. He wrote the 3 laws of motion. So here we have number 3. Number 3, his laws help us understand why things move the way they do. Very important. And number 4, boys and girls, we also have, okay, so these are the 4 things to know about Isaac Newton. The last one is number 4. He was one of the greatest scientists in history. I think he was part of the scientific revolution. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn the page to find out what we have to do. It says objects in motion. And we can see a squirrel over here. Think about what you know about Isaac Newton. Then write the answer to each question. Now we're going to answer a few questions about what we've learned about Mr. Isaac Newton. Let's go for the first one. The first one says, what did Isaac Newton write after seeing an apple fall from a tree? He wrote something. Do you remember what it was? It's okay not to remember. We go back to the facts about Isaac Newton and you can see it here. He wrote, okay, so let's read number 1 because number 1 and 2 are related. He's known for observing an apple falling from a tree. After he observed the apple falling from a tree, he wrote this. He wrote the 3 laws of motion. The 3 laws of motion. Once again, I'm going to ask you again. What did Isaac Newton write after seeing an apple from a tree? The 3 laws of motion. And you don't have a lot of space, so careful with that. The 3... We can put laws here too, because it's a short word. The S came on top of the red part of the apple. The 3 laws of motion. Motion is movement.
Motion is pink.
I'm sorry about that, boys and girls. Deborah is trying to be silly. The 3 laws of motion. There you go. Don't forget, you can pause the video if you need to copy these. Si necesitan copiar esto, pueden pausar el video. It's also on this side. It's also over here. The 3 laws of motion. Está aquí también en el otro lado del papel. There's no reason to panic. I know some of you panic when you cannot see the answers. Alright, so let's take a look at the next one. What is Isaac Newton remembered as? How do we remember Isaac Newton? Was he a very good teacher? Was he a very good actor? Was he a very good scientist? Let's see, read over here. It says he was one of the greatest scientists in history. So we nowadays, we remember Isaac Newton as a great scientist. What is Isaac Newton remember as? A great scientist. Great scientist. Un científico muy, muy bueno. Un científico grandioso. He was a great scientist, right? All right, let's read the last one then. The last apple. What do the three laws of motion tell us? What are the three laws of motion telling us? So over here, number 2, we read that he wrote his 3 laws of motion. But what do they tell you? It says his laws, the laws of motion, help us understand why things move the way they do. So that's our answer right there. So what do the 3 laws of motion tell us? They tell us how things move and why they do it. They tell us how. What do the 3 laws of motion tell us? How, I begin with uppercase. How things move. So that's basically how things move and why. Well, we learned, boys and girls, that the apples, when they fall from the tree, they don't stay flying in the air, right? They hit the ground. Why does that happen? Well, it's because of gravity. Everything is pulled towards the earth, right? Nothing stays floating in the air unless it's like bubbles, right? And even they break.
And eat.
Oh yes, our dog eats the bubbles. All right, boys and girls, that was it for today. Do not forget that after you finish with all your lessons, make sure that you copy all the words. It is important, boys and girls, that you complete all your lessons. And after you finish all your lessons, do not forget to do your online homework as well. So tarea en línea, en internet. You have to do your iReady, 10 to 15 minutes every day, your Spelling City, and your iExcel. Well, boys and girls, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.